How can you go wrong with this? This is fire. Okay, we change chords. We have this downwards motion in the chords, right? Downwards motion from the higher end. Hi, my name is Henrik Järder, I'm a musician, and today we're gonna rank every iconic main theme from every 3D Mario game. Okay, let's listen to all these tracks and then discuss about some musical things about them, what makes them great, and then let's rank them, of course. The first track we're gonna talk about is Bob on Battlefield from Super Mario 64. That intro is fire! Bass and the brass here is in sync. It's super nice, do you hear that? And listen to that bass that it goes down. Boom. Ooh, how it goes down is super nice. I don't know if it goes down chromatically, but damn, that is sweet. So much movement in the bass, it's absolutely fantastic. It's so well structured. Okay, so listen to this. So here we're gonna have verse 2. Do you see how they evolved? Can you hear that verse 2 is essentially verse 1 but with a little bit more flavor? Exactly the same melody as verse 1, but then we have that little call and response thing going on because the brass goes BAM! Listen, in the first verse we didn't have the brass doing that, right? So now we have another kind of melody helping the already familiar melody that we heard in verse 1. And we get the super nice hi-hats, rides in the drums. Genius melody writing, by the way. This is really good. Everything is kind of in blocks in the song. It's super easy to comprehend. It's just instantly recognizable. It's amazing composing. I want to talk about some stuff. Okay, I think I have watched a video from 8-Bit Theory and he says that this song uses a lot of chromatic notes. Let's find them. Okay, so we're in C major, so we have these notes. But see this melody line, this first melody line. D, D sharp, E. So we have this D sharp to E, this chromatic thing going on in the melody. And we have the same kind of chromatic approach here. G, G sharp, A. And you don't even hear that we use a lot of dissonant notes outside of the C major scale. And do you see that? The added melody. And then the melody here, the second melody layer, is slightly more advanced. Oh, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. Look at this melody. Do you see that? We're just going chromatically down to F. Bomb on Battlefield definitely deserves an S tier. It's so polished, everything about it. There's literally nothing I can complain about. Okay, let's move on from Mario 64. Let's talk about Delfino Plaza from Super Mario Sunshine. Let's listen to. Okay, most of these very iconic main themes from Mario always have a solid intro. We have the accordion and the guitars here. Chromatically, very interesting. Super interesting chorus, by the way. Ooh! How can you go wrong with this? This is fire. Okay, we change chords. And the accordion, of course, is playing the melody right now. This kind of composition, just guitars and an accordion, it feels like it doesn't need anything more. The vibe I get from this, it's like when you catch street musicians playing with each other. That's the kind of vibe we get here. It's like jazz, a little bit more simpler in like how the chords kind of loop, but the chords are very rich in harmonies. Just listen to this, just two guitars. You could definitely catch like two musicians, two guitarists like on the street playing this, and it would sound like absolute fire. So it's actually kind of genius for them to not add a shit ton of layers like strings or a lot of different stuff. Feels a lot more casual, a lot more intimate, and a lot more kind of carefree. And that's the vibe we want from Mario Sunshine. Mario Sunshine, it's about like Mario and Peach and like the Toads, like wanting a vacation. So it's like perfect. It's like this is perfect. No, we don't get the percussion. Okay, there's some version with when we get like the percussion, when you pick up Joshi. We have this downwards motion in the chords, right? Downwards motion from the higher end. Right, downwards. Through, it's like chromaticism going in different directions. The bass is going up, and the higher notes of the chord is going down. So it's super interesting. Bomb on Battlefield's melody feels a little bit more sharp. Delfino Plaza, a solid A. Okay, let's move on to Gusty Garden from Mario Galaxy. Okay, now we have a real orchestra and real instruments, so it's gonna have a different quality. Oh, the guitar here, it's strumming guitar, it's such a nice element. Wow, everything sounds so full, so... Wow, okay, wow, what a level up. In the GameCube era, I don't really know for sure, but I know for the 64 era, we couldn't use real instruments or record instruments because it took a lot of space. I think it was the same thing for GameCube, but the Wii was kind of the first system where we could record live music. Listen to the strings here and the flutes or the woodwind playing the melody. Wow! And I love the guitar. It adds such a great rhythm to the track. It's so unbelievable. And we have the percussion helping out with the rhythm. And we have some staccato strings maybe helping out with the chords as well. It baffles me. This is insane. Everything. Wow, and the arpeggios here. Wow, this section. The arpeggios and the brass gently adding the melody. And now we get the rhythm on the guitar. And now the brass comes alive to kind of give us the chorus. How can something be this amazing? Wow. We're gonna talk about some things in the song, but I would say that this is an S. I would lower Bomb on Battlefield to A and maybe Delfino Plaza to B. I don't even know what I would say that is. Yeah, it sounds like we're using parallel harmony and kind of parallel melodies, I would say. Cause look at this shape. And this is the same distance. It's exactly the same melody, just 2 semitones up. So it sounds like we're kind of using parallel harmony and parallel melody to make sense of notes that are actually outside of the scale we're using. Okay, Super Mario Galaxy 2. I actually don't think there is a piece from Mario Galaxy 2 that kind of defines it as a game. Gotta always have a great intro. And listen to how beautiful this is. With the pizzicato on the strings. Wow. And look at the change of the rhythm and super nice tremolo there. And see, we actually keep the melody in the bass, but it's not as recognizable because of the strings kind of sustaining the notes. Super nice tremolo again. Wow, and we got some sustained notes coming from the brass, really helping out with defining the chords. I'm gonna give this one a C. Let's listen to Super Mario 3D Land, the overworld theme. Super funky. I really like the bass here. Drums are nice, solid. Super nice E-piano here. Kind of doing a call and response thing. Ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba. It's not a kind of long piece. of music. Yeah, we got some chromatic notes there. Yeah, chromatic notes again. It's a great melody, but if I compare it to the melodies we have heard, it doesn't do it for me at all. It's like solid C, I would say. Let's move on to Super Mario 3D World. I feel like this has a very similar vibe to Super Mario 3D Land, but this one does it just a lot better. So let's try to figure out why. Super great intro. Yeah, the melody is just more solid. Something about these pauses really do it for me. You can kind of really hear the bass melody. So even if you get tired of listening to the melody, you can just focus on the bass and you get another melody. We got a different rhythm in the drums. So jazzy, so funky, amazing. I would say like a solid B for me. This is a solid B. It's good. It's really good. Okay, let's move on to the last song for this video. Let's talk about Super Mario Odyssey's Jump Up Superstar. I feel like that's some parallel harmony right in the beginning. This is some kind of modulation. You can kind of hear it. So this is a classic kind of jazz walking bass. It's super nice. Where you kind of move in chord notes. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course the piano. It's like very careful. Sprinkles it here and there. There we hear. Listen. Do you hear how the piano kind of tastefully is just there? Super jazz. This is kind of odd for me, because this is like a walking bass, but this bass doesn't sound like a double bass. This sounds like more like an electrical bass. Yeah, great singer, just a great vibe. Is this a modulation? I don't know. Okay, we have some call and response melodies going on in the vocals. Listen. So the singer sings, let's jump up super high, super. And then we have some jump up super high. Wow, listen to this. Everything is in sync, but the drums, right? Listen, the drums keep the timing, but the bass and the brass is in sync. So in the verse we're in C, in the chorus we're in D flat. I think I'm biased, but I'm gonna give this an A. It's super solid, but there's something about Gusty Garden that really does it for me.